Hello, my name is Todd Long with Leadership Innovations, and I want to share with you a tool that I've defined as the Work Design Blueprint. This is a tool to help you and the people around you perform at their very best. If you think about any building that's actually been built, it all starts with a blueprint. It's this clear, specific, printed plan that's been designed to help give information to put the structure together. And without that blueprint, the builders would be lost. I also know the thing about blueprints is there's a starting point for a blueprint, but anytime in the building process, that blueprint can be adjusted and changed and adapted to meet the specific building requirements or the specific outcomes of that building that need to be developed. Well, those same kinds of principles can be applied to our performance. And I want to share with you how this is going to be beneficial to you, as well as the people you get to help lead and guide in terms of their own performance, and walk through this process with you. So here's how this is going to help you. Number one, it's going to help you have more transparent performance conversations. Number two, it's going to help you to have, I'll say, better and easier performance reviews. I know this can be challenging for many people. And then the final aspect of this can help you is to improve performance. Now I'm going to encourage you to use this tool for yourself first, and then apply it and use it to people you get to help lead, particularly if you have a specific reporting structure, then it's your responsibility to help people perform at their best. I was fortunate early in my career to have one of my first managers use a tool very similar to this, and I'll say it worked. It just worked. Okay, so let's start with the areas of focus that we're going to look at. And I'm going to go back a little bit to set the stage for this. And so we're going to talk about just steps for achieving a goal. And then I'm going to talk about writing a STOMP goal and communicate how to do that, because that's kind of the first steps to then creating this work design blueprint. So let's just remind ourselves of the 6 steps to accomplishing a goal. The first step is to actually create the goal. And in that creation process, it's about documenting it. So you want to write those goals down and have a clear documentation for that, which we'll talk about later in terms of the work design blueprint. We want to declare those goals, to communicate them out to the people that can help support us in those goals. We obviously have to execute the goal, track the goals, and then finally review those goals to see how well we've done. So these steps are really critical in terms of thinking about how to then will create this work design blueprint. It's about creating a document that you can declare and execute and track and then review to get the best performance for yourself, as well as helping others get their best performance. Here's a quick reminder of setting goals. I use what I call the STOMP methodology, which is about creating goals that are specific, they're timely, they're owned, there's some measurement to them, and they're positive. We're moving towards something. So here's an example of a STOMP goal. I will schedule and meet with an average of 2 people per month from our company from January through June to understand the business better. So we see the I will, the positive, I'm moving towards something. The 2 people per month, there's some measurement around there. It's more specific, and it gives a time frame from January through June and the specific reasons for this to understand the business better. So I set that just to remind us of setting good goals, because if you aren't setting good goals, then the performance probably is, and the performance expectations aren't going to be as clear as well. Okay. So let's jump into the work design blueprint. And this is really, it's a document that you get to create, and that document is created around your title, it's around your main responsibilities, and then the goals that you're trying to accomplish within those responsibilities. So let me give you an example of what this looks like. So first of all, again, it starts with the title. Then we have to identify what our responsibilities are. I'll give you one responsibility in this example here in a minute, but we all have multiple responsibilities. And then it's about creating a document that identifies what are the clear goals within that responsibility, what are the plans that you can use to execute that goal. There's some space for identifying what the completion date is, and then finally the outcomes. And the outcomes is really about tracking how well you've progressed and how well you've done in terms of achieving the goal. So in this example, I'm going to use the fishing charter boat captain as the title. One of his responsibilities is boat maintenance. So I'm going to identify 2 goals under this responsibility of boat maintenance. We see I will complete all maintenance inspections each month from January through December. Again, we could put more specific plans if we wanted to add that to the document. We could put the completion date, although we see the January through December, we could add the completion dates, and then we can also track the outcomes. So as the person is progressing in achieving these goals, we can identify what are the outcomes. Let's say January they hit it, February they missed it, March they hit it, and so on and so forth throughout the year. Next we have, I will I will replace the boat engine during the first week of December. So this is another goal that this particular role, under the boat maintenance role, that this particular person is going to accomplish. Again, we could create specific plans to make that happen. There's a completion date, and then we can track the outcomes. As you can hopefully intuitively see in this is an ongoing document that you first create, but then you're updating the document as you go to continue to help identify, are there additional goals, if the goals need to be changed, what are the outcomes within that as well. Here's another example with the same title of the fishing charter boat captain. The second responsibility is crew training, and let's look at a couple of different goals under this. First of all crew members will complete overboard rescue training by July. There's a goal. Again, we could put the plans, completion dates, and then track the outcome of that. Did this person hit the July goal date? Did they go before that? Maybe they finished it in June, maybe they finished in August, but it's a way to track the outcome. And then we have second goal here is all crew members will learn to operate the fish finder equipment by March. So again, we're training the crew. Here's a specific goal. We could create plans in there, track the outcomes as well within this particular responsibility. So hopefully you're starting to get a feel for what this looks like. Again, there's the title that we start with, but we have to really identify what are the responsibilities that we have, that this person has, and then what are the specific goals within those responsibilities that you're trying to track and identify. So here's the practice of this to get this started. And again, I suggest you do this for yourself first, and then as you get comfortable with yourself, for those people you're leading, to help them create this document and this tool for helping identify what the goals are and how tracking performance and then reviewing that performance. Again, it starts with identifying what those responsibilities are. So I would say brainstorm, what are your key responsibilities? Then it goes into what are the specific goals within those responsibilities that you're trying to accomplish. This document, as I've used it, is whoever's the document is created for, it belongs to them. So if I'm creating a document for myself, it's my document, and my supervisor or manager has access to that and can have input into the document and can help speak into it and review the document with the person creating it. But ultimately, it's the person that owns, the person this document is for is who owns that document. So if you're a manager or supervisor helping someone do this, you want to help them create it, and then you want to meet with them on a consistent basis. I would highly recommend at least once a month, if at the very minimum, to then go over how well they've done in terms of identifying their goals, how well you've done in terms of tracking it and watching the outcomes. So think about this. If you imagine having this consistent conversation about the performance of a person on a monthly basis, how much easier those performance conversations are going to be, how much easier in terms of creating a performance review, whether that's biannually or once a year, and then just opening up these transparent conversations about performance. Again, this is a living, breathing kind of document that you're adding to it. You might have to change and adjust it, so it's not just a one-time, here it's done and let's do this. It's an ongoing document to help with performance. For my experience with this, for me, just running my business, it's a great document that I create at the beginning of the year, and then I put on my calendar, review the document to see how well I've done in terms of the outcomes, things I need to add to it, things I might change and adjust to it as well. So there you go. There's the work design blueprint. We talked about the steps for achieving a goal, writing STOMP goals, and then actually creating this work design blueprint. I hope this information has been really helpful for you in terms of helping you lead yourself, lead others better around this idea of performance conversations and maximizing and having really healthy and great conversations. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.